Hey guys, Tom here, and welcome back to another video on the Racing Joker channel. Today I'm here to talk to you guys about a couple purchases I made online. The first being a GReddy Type S blow-off valve. I just found this on eBay, no biggie. And an R34 GTR badge. I know, clickbait, right? Well, sorry, but also not sorry, because that means I get to educate you guys on a couple interesting things. One, it's a few interesting facts about the blow-off valve, and second are some neat things about the badge and why I got it.
Quick cut, camera battery is running low, so I just had to change locations where I could have the camera be plugged in and also still be recording, because stuff, the GoPro wire is ridiculously short and you can't plug it in whilst it's in the mount, or in the case rather, so I had to figure something out. So you're propped on top of my old camera and a cardboard box and my laptop so that you guys can have a decent angle. So anyways, some neat things to talk about regarding the stuff I purchased. Well, let's start with the easy thing and save the more interesting stuff for last, which is the badge. So here we have a GReddy Type S blow-off valve. GReddy does not make these anymore, but why would I want one of these? Why would I want a discontinued blow-off valve? Probably has outdated technology, and for those of you who don't know, it's not universally connectable to my car, at least not to okay, so I said that wrong. It's not an easy install on my car, because as you can see, there's a welding flange here. It has to be welded onto some kind of aluminum pipe, and with the 2015 WRX, it's not exactly how the car is built. There's a lot of rubber everywhere and stuff like that, so we're gonna have to figure something out that's cleared and clever and maybe janky. So, why do I want this? Well, in the 2001 film, The Fast and the Furious, for those of you who haven't seen it, watch it. There is a 1999 Mitsubishi Eclipse that is turbocharged and has one of these on it. For those of you who remember the iconic and cool whistle of Brian's Eclipse, this is where that whistle was coming from. This is where the whistle of Brian's Eclipse was coming from, this blow-off valve right here. And so I thought, man, wouldn't it be awesome if my first car could have that noise? The WRX is turbocharged. It also comes with a stock blow-off valve in it, but we can't just replace that with this for reasons that are awkward to explain. And yeah, just to give you a cooler, closer look, this is the blow-off valve. It's in pretty good condition, considering it's old and probably used, I'm guessing, or whatever. But yeah, I got that off of eBay. Very cool. I look forward to finally getting it to work. So yeah. Now, moving on to the thing that I'm guessing most of you have clicked on this video for, which is the R34 M-Spec NUR badge. Why did I get this badge? Well, out of every version of the R34 GTR out there, the M-Spec NUR is my favorite. Now, of course, for those of you who don't know, the R34 GTR, the model years went from 1999 to 2002. There wasn't a whole lot of difference between each of the different versions, but there's enough difference that I was able to come up with a favorite, and favorite enough to get a badge from it. So, before I show this to you, why do I want the badge instead of just the actual car? Well, right now, if I went to the R34 GTR market, the cheapest GTR I could get would be either a standard GTR or a V-Spec, and that would be for about $35,000 to $40,000. The mileage might be a little higher, but that's fine. If I wanted to get an actual M-Spec NUR, for one, I'd have to be really patient and wait for one to show up. And second, I would need to scrounge together $90,000 or maybe even $100,000 just to be able to afford it. And that's before even modifying it. Which also brings me to my next point, which is, if I bought an actual M-Spec NUR and I started to modify it the way I wanted to, a lot of people are going to give me a lot of crap. because I want to put body kits on, put in new camshafts, exhaust, paint job, all the works. So, saving myself money and flack, I decided to get either a standard or a V-Spec and just get the badge and save myself probably like $60,000 or more. I will show you the badge. It looks really cool. It's really shiny. I'm glad that it's packaged this way, so that means I don't have to take it out of the packaging until I finally put it on an R34, because, in case you couldn't guess, this is like an IOU investment time capsule type thing. So, I got the badge. Not that expensive of a purchase. It was maybe $90. And the plan is to hold on to that and have it be like a time capsule investment thing, as like a miniature commitment to myself and my dream of getting an R34 someday. And so that when I get one and when I put the body kit on it, I'm going to put this on the rear bumper of that car, because the body kit I want is a COS body kit, which is the body kit that was used on the Too Fast, Too Furious Skyline and also the Skyline in Street Racing Syndicate. And for those of you who don't know, that body kit replaces the entire rear bumper. It doesn't just add like lips or something at the bottom of the rear bumper. It replaces it, which means that the stock badge will be gone no matter what. So this basically will go in the same spot on the back of the COS bumper, which normally wouldn't even be there, even if it were an M-Spec NUR, because the body kit would have taken it off. But this is so that I can like just kind of pretend and roleplay that I have my favorite version of the R34. And I kind of have to justify it in my head, because getting the badge of a car that I might never own and putting it on a car that doesn't actually, isn't actually attached to that badge, I had to kind of think internally in my head to justify going with that, because there are a lot of people out there that'll put an M3 badge on a 325 or whatever, and you just look at that and you go, oh man, that is sacrilegious. So how do I justify this? Well, when I think about it, at least I'm not putting a GTR badge on a GTT. Okay, you can make a GTT look like an R34, just don't put the badge on. That's cool. You have a rear-wheel drive R34 that looks like a GTR. Could be a lot of fun for drifting, or maybe just enjoy rear-wheel drive. More power to you. Just don't do that. Don't put a GTR badge on. Obviously you can, and I'm not actually going to give you crap for it, but I just wouldn't. I'm just, self-approval. With the M-Spec NUR thing, it's the reason why I feel like I can justify doing that is because, of course, getting an actual M-Spec NUR would be ridiculously expensive. They're also really rare, so modifying one, is kind of Like, imagine finding a pristine Lamborghini Diablo, like a $300,000 car, and ripping apart the engine block and twin turboing it, and just messing with the balance of the entire car. Like, that sounds cool, but then... phone. You shouldn't do that, There's a limit. So, because it's rare and special and exclusive, I feel like it would be better just to get the badge and put it on a standard car. But what makes the M-Spec NUR so special? Well, so let's talk about the different trim levels of the GTR, because I almost talked about this earlier. Model year of the R34 GTR went from 1999 to 2002. In 1999, we had the standard GTR, so there was no badge on the back at all. It was just the standard GTR. And then we had the V-Spec, which is also known as the Victory Specification. And Victory Specification was originally made, I believe, as like a kind of a celebration for the R32 GTR winning a whole bunch of races. The same races that earned the R32 GTR the name Godzilla. So after winning so many races, Nissan were like, let's give the R32 the V-Spec badge, Victory Specification. And then the V-Spec has kind of stuck with the car ever since. And I think there was also a V-Spec 2 of the R32 as well. But I think those are kind of rare. At least that's the impression I get. But with the R34, back to the R34, we have 1999, which is standard and V-Spec. Then we've got 2000, which is V-Spec 2. And then we've got 2001, which is M-Spec. And the M stands for Mizuno. So who in the heck is Mizuno? Well, Mizuno is the chief engineer at Nissan. He is one of the people that we can thank for having these cars be made and brought into reality for us to enjoy, whether it be driving them ourselves, messing around with them in video games, or watching movies, or what have you. The M is like paying homage, or, you know, a thank you, or it stands for the people that made these cars a reality. And so that's what makes the M cool, and I think that's one of the main reasons why I decided that the M-Spec NUR was my favorite version, because if we keep going down the model years, we get to 2002, where we have the V-Spec 2 NUR and the M-Spec NUR. The NUR stands for the Nürburgring, where the car was developed. Approximately only 1,000 NUR spec GTRs were made. A little over 700 V-Spec 2 NURs were ever built, and a little under 300 M-Spec NURs were ever built. Okay, so the M-Spec NURs are the rarer of the two, but what makes them special? So, for one, in case you didn't know, the M-Spec is like the luxury version of the R34 GTR. So it has like leather seats and I think some kind of special suspension, doohickey stuff, which is neat, leather seats and all that. Obviously, because I won't be getting an actual M-Spec NUR, I won't have that. That's fine. That's okay. That's acceptable. But what makes the NUR spec GTR special? Well, there's a stronger engine block. It's basically inspired by the N1 engine block used in the racing GTRs. So that's also very cool, which means that the engine from stock can handle more boost and more power and all sorts of good stuff. But, yeah. M-Spec NUR. Very, very cool. I look forward to the day I can put that on a car. For those of you who look for the day that I can do that, you can subscribe and, you know, all that jazz. Shameless self-promotion. If you're already here, I don't really need to promote myself. But yeah, it was just a neat purchase, and it also it feels cool to purchase it and have it here, because it makes me feel like I'm a little bit more committed to getting it, and it makes it feel, I guess, more likely or whatever, just because I'm taking steps towards it, even if it's a tiny one like this. But yeah, my dream R34 has always been the M-Spec NUR, because it's paying homage to the chief engineer at Nissan and all sorts of good stuff. It's my favorite version of the car because it's the coolest to me. Like, even in my eyes, I would say it's cooler than the Z-Tune, because I don't think anyone could justify getting a Z-Tune badge and putting that on their car. If you wanted a Z-Tune strut bar, yeah, that's badass as hell. But a Z-Tune badge, I don't think even I could justify that. I can justify this, though. So, yeah. Hopefully, one day I'll be able to make a vlog very soon about making cool whistle noises in my 2015 WRX. I am just... Man, I should practice. I should really practice these vlogs before I do them or something, or make a script, because I've been stumbling over my words a lot today. But it's fine. I look forward to making a video where this has been installed, because that will sound really cool, and it'll be a really quirky install to do on the WRX, because not a lot of people are going to bother trying to do this, because it takes a lot of custom work. You know, when you're getting a blow-off valve, you don't expect it to be as difficult as it is for getting this onto my car. But I have it. There's no other part out there like it, and I'm committed, and I want to put it on the car. And I hope one day, several years from now, because they're not even legal in the US, I am going to put this on an R34 GTR of my own, and that's going to be badass as hell. So, yeah. If you got any more questions about, say, importing GTRs into the US, whether getting one now or getting one later in the future, I made a video all about that. It's called How to Get an R34 GTR in the US. If you want to watch that, do that. It's very educational, no bullshit, very clickbaity title until you realize I'm actually talking about what the title's about. There's none of that. This is the only time I've ever done clickbait. You fell for it, but now you get to be directed to useful videos. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I am Tom. the Racing Joker, and I will see you all in future videos, whether it be vlogs, gaming such as Need for Speed, Batman Arkham Asylum, Ark Survival Evolved, and much more. Stay crazy, everybody.